for sending you Darling's son to Calvary, that each and every man, woman, boy, and girl could have an opportunity at salvation. We pray, Father God, as we depart from this place, that you return each and every one of us to our homes and families safely. Your most kind and gracious heavenly name we ask and pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I call the meeting to order, I'm going to ask for a moment of silence in honor of Mr. Sam Holmes. He, the school board member, worked for the county for years. He was a county finance director for a while, so he passed away. So just take a moment of silence.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Call the county commission to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Zachary Bunch.
Here.
Dennis Cook.
Here.
Whit Shepherd.
Present.
Hayden Barker. Nathan Everson.
Here.
Gary Ford.
Here.
Mike Campbell.
Here.
Stacy Crawford.
Here.
Tim Stroud. Zach Mullins.
Here.
Anthony Rowe.
Here.
Three absent. First item up is approval of agenda.
No, man.
I've got a motion and a second. Any amendments?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
We have a couple of people in the audience tonight that's running for state level positions. They took time out of their schedule to be with us. Opportunity to introduce themselves. I make a motion we have a position on the agenda for Noah Smith, District 38 State Representative candidate, and Bobby Johnson, Republican State Executive Committee man candidate, just as discussion.
Okay, we'll put that as 2A. Okay. Any other?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add the health department on there for this discussion also, introduction.
Okay, we'll put that as 2B. Any other? If not, if all in favor of the agenda as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item up is approval of minutes.
I second.
So we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item up is reports. It's county office reports, county mayor's report, county sheriff's report, committee reports.
So moved. Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Now, any discussion or questions regarding any of these reports? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item up is no republic appointments.
So moved.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no republic bonds. We have no old business. So that puts us down to new business. First item up is information medical examiner investigators 2026. This is submitted by the county mayor. Is there any questions to the mayor regarding this information?
I was asked by several commissioners that they wanted a list of those people that were certified for medical examiner investigators. So that is the list that has gone through the training with the state. And these are all approved by Dr. Wilma, who is the list that you all asked for.
Any other questions? Life cycle report for 2024. This was submitted by the trustee. Any discussion? Okay. We'll go to 2A. This is Mr. Mullins. If you want to go ahead and introduce the candidates. They'll stand and speak to the.
Can you hear me? I want to thank Mr. Mullins for letting me speak just briefly. My name is Noah Smith. I'm from Campbell County. I'm running to be state representative for District 36. 38 was close, but 36 it encompasses all of Campbell County, all of Union County, and then parts of Claiborne. It's not the whole county. So if you live in Tazewell or Harrogate, you got Gary Hicks. And if you live in New Tazewell or Speedwell, I would be honored to represent you. I'm a Christian conservative, Republican in that order is what I call it. I've had the honor to call most of my commissioners in the 2nd, 3rd, and then 8th and 9th districts here. I'm an airline pilot for Delta Airlines, but more importantly, I'm a fiscal conservative, Republican, and Christian. I'd be honored to serve Claiborne County, all of Claiborne County. I can only, if you live in New Tazewell and Speedwell, you can vote for me, but I would be honored to serve the entire part of Claiborne County. I'm 26 years old, airline pilot, but for the most part, I feel called and led to serve, and I'd be honored to serve Claiborne County in the state legislature. So thank you.
Thank you all for having me. My name is Bobby Johnson. I'm running for State Executive Republican Committee. I'm from Hancock County. And I applaud you all because I'm a county commissioner in Hancock too, so I know what you go through. And I've been there for 21 years as a county commissioner. I'm also the Republican chair in the county. This is my 3rd term as Republican chairman. I've been part of the Republican Party in Hancock since 2016. And I would be honored to be your all's voice in Nashville. This position would be like a branch between the local parties at the state level, to the state level. And I'd be assisting the local parties in anything they need. And that covers Hancock, Claiborne, Union, Granger, Jefferson County, and Sevier. So, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. If not, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I just wanted to come by to introduce our new public health educator, Emily Barr. I'm going to let her speak for just a second, but she's given a handout for some of the programs that she will be offering, but I wanted you to have a face with her name because she works a great deal in our community. We have our Office on Aging, school system, faith-based organizations, and different work sites.
So as Garnet said, I'm Emily Barr. I'm very excited to be in Claiborne. The one page I gave you gives a pretty detailed list of the programs that I was going to be able to do, and I'm very excited to bring them to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. Okay. Moves down to resolution 28, county clerk office supplies and budget amendment. Mr. Epps.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is a budget amendment for the county clerk office. They recently upgraded their computer equipment, their printers, or all that, but when it comes down to the price of the toner and the increase in cost, well, we're going to come up a little short, but the clerk actually has money earmarked in another account there, and we just need to shift it over to offset this cost. And I make a motion to approve it.
Second. We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, clerk call the roll.
Nathan
Yes.
Gary Ford,
Yes.
Mike Campbell,
Yes.
Stacy Crawford,
Yes.
Zach Morris,
Yes.
Anthony Rose,
Yes.
Mitchell Cosby,
Yes.
Rosemary Barnett,
Yes.
Carolyn Brooks,
Yes.
Steve Mason,
Yes.
Steve Brogan,
Yes.
Eric Jones,
Yes.
Sherry Fair,
Yes.
David Hyde,
Yes.
Quentin Roberts,
Yes.
Zachary Bunch,
Yes.
Dennis Cook,
Yes.
Bruce Hubert.
Yes.
Motion carries 18-4, 0 against. Next item up is Resolution 29, Family Justice Center contributions, budget amendments. Minutes referred.
The Family Justice Center has received contributions totaling $2,650, and I make the motion that we move that into other supplies and materials so that they can spend that.
Second.
Have a motion. Any discussion?
Can I say one thing? The walk for victims was today, and it was amazing how many people showed up for that. And I myself don't give the Family Justice Center and the police department, the local, the DA's office, enough credit for what all they do. And I just think we really need to lift them up, and donate when we can, say good words to them, especially on social media. It seems all they get is negative comments. We should really lift them up with positive.
Any other discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Starting with you, Mr. Brogan. Steve Brogan. I'm starting in the second district. Steve Brogan.
Oh, Steve. Start with Steve.
Start the vote. Eric?
Yes.
David Bundy.
Yes.
Quentin Roberts,
Yes.
Zachary Bunch,
Yes.
Dennis Cook,
Yes.
Bruce Hubert,
Yes.
Nathan Everson,
Yes.
Gary Ford,
Yes.
Mike Campbell, Stacy Crawford,
Yes.
Zach Mullins,
Yes.
Anthony Rose,
Yes.
Mitchell Cosby,
Yes.
Rosemary Barnett,
Yes.
Carolyn Brooks,
Yes.
Steve Mason.
Yes.
Motion passes 18-4, 0 against. Next item up is resolution number 30, Imagination Library Contribution Budget Amendment. Ms. McCurry.
The Beta 5 chapter of Delta Kappa Gamma has given a $500 donation for the Imagination Library, and I make the motion that we move it into that account so it can be spent.
I'll second it. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Steve Brogan.
Yes.
Yes.
Sherry Fair.
Yes.
David Bundy.
Yes.
Quentin Roberts.
Yes.
Zachary Bunch.
Yes.
Dennis Cook.
Yes.
Bruce Hubert.
Yes.
Nathan Everson.
Yes.
Gary Ford.
Yes.
Mike Campbell.
Yes.
Stacy Crawford.
Yes.
Zach Mullins.
Yes.
Anthony Rose.
Yes.
Mitchell Cosby.
Yes.
Rosemary Barnett.
Yes.
Carolyn Brooks. Steve Mason.
Yes.
Carries 18-4, 0 against. Next item up is resolution 31, Trustee Computers Budget Amendment. Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our trustee, Ms. Alexander, has 7 computers that no longer receive Microsoft. They're outdated, they need replaced to be able to work with the auditors. I make a motion we approve this.
Second. We got a motion and a second. Discussion. Any discussion? If not, clerk call the roll.
David Bundy.
Yes.
Quentin Roberts.
Yes.
Zachary Bunch.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Next item up is resolution number 32. It's a general fund budget amendment. Mr. Mundy.
Mr. Chairman, this is, the clear ups of funds, finance office down there, the doctors and plans and stuff on some top time. I make a motion, we pass it.
Second.
Who seconded? Any discussion? If not, clerk call the roll.
David Mundy,
Yes.
Quentin Rogers,
Yes.
Zachary Bunch.
Yes.
Dennis Cook,
Yes.
Bruce Sheeter,
Yes.
Nathan Anderson.
Yes.
Gary Moore,
Yes.
Mike Campbell.
Yes.
Eddie Crawford,
Yes.
Matt Owens,
Yes.
Anthony Rose.
Yes.
Bill Cosby,
Yes.
Rosemary Barnett,
Yes.
Carolyn Burke. Yes. Steve Mason.
Yes.
Steve Rogan,
Yes.
Eric Jones,
Yes.
Jennifer Bailey.
Yes.
Motion carries 18-4, 0 against. Next item up is resolution number 33. This is authorizing the application to the Tennessee Housing Development Agency for emergency solutions grant funding and committing matching funds. Mr. Cosby.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What this is what you just said. The Tennessee Housing Development Agency is an emergency solutions grant that we can apply for up to $125,000, and it'll be in the fiscal year 2027, I believe. And it's matching dollar per dollar. I just want to see if we got enough interest in it to apply for it. I make a motion to adopt this resolution.
Is there a second? Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, do you want to?
I'm happy to, like last month, this just asks if we can apply for grant. This is emergency need that we have with housing in the county. If we are approved for the grant, this would be weighed into fiscal year 27 budget. The maximum that we would apply for is $125,000 is a dollar per dollar match. So that means the county would have to match up to $125,000. Several of the activities, I'm not going to go through the whole document, but you can do street outreach to identify people that are in need of any kind of housing assistance and programming. That can go for case management or any kind of emergency services with those folks. Even transportation, if they need transportation to get somewhere to a house, a family, hotel, whatever the case may be. It also applies for emergency shelter funding. As you all know, we made a significant contribution to local church that opened their doors during the freeze event that we had. This money could be used to supplement that if they chose to be a partner and wanted to open up on a regular basis. We could use this funding so that they could have that money to run that service through their church. It also do child care, case management with regards to that. Again, employee assistance and job training, it pays for that for people that have found themselves in dire straits. Even legal services under that guideline, mental health services, life skills training. So there's more to this than just saying that we're going to provide a shelter. And that's not what we're looking at, is to build or have a shelter. We feel like we had a good partnership with a local church that opened their doors up, so we'd like to have a little skin in the game and have some actual funding for them to continue to do that into perpetuity or as long as they want to do it, so this is going a long way. It will allow for operational costs for them to work. It will also work for homelessness prevention activities, so if people are identified that they're about to become homeless, it would work with those people to try to find them affordable housing or some type of apartments before they find themselves in a homeless situation. And it also applies for rapid rehousing activities, and that would be somebody that's about to be evicted. It would allow for financial assistance to pay for rent, utility deposits, utility payments. It will allow for a housing search and placement under that, and also stability case management. Once they get to a home, they can apply for case management that'll help them do that. Remediation services are included in that as well. And then you have short-term, medium rental assistance for that. Short-term, medium rental assistance requirements and restrictions would have to be met and adhered to. And then I think there's one more point under that if that wasn't the last one.
could the match be in kind or mark?
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be dollar for dollar. If you've got somebody that wants to volunteer and you can track their volunteer hours, and they say they want to work for $10 an hour, work for 100 hours, and $10,000 can be a part of an in-kind match for volunteer services. If there were food supplies or anything that was purchased for them through, let's say, Second Harvest or something like that, then that would count as an in-kind match. So it doesn't have to be specifically a dollar per dollar grant match, but that is the ask that you all pay. And then she would work with whatever church or organization would want to fill that gap. So a lot of what we hear is people don't have funding to do that with regards to their utilities or food or cots and blankets. So a lot of this money could be used to help people to open up their doors. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the church over in Government Gap, the old church opened their doors, and another church in Harrogate. The Harrogate and Tazewell Senior Centers could become placements for that in extreme stuff, so that could apply for their utilities, that could apply for food. So it's not saying that we want to build something that's going to be there forever. It's just when we have that emergency situation arise, when we have freezing temperatures again, that we have something prepared instead of kind of sitting there going, what do we do?
Obviously, it's a great idea. I'm just concerned, you mentioned like bankruptcies and things and people need funding, which is a big concern, or it will be, I feel like. And I don't want to spend all the money in one pot. I'm just wondering who picks who gets what.
So there would be a criteria that the state would set with regards to eligibility. So anybody that is having any kind of trouble with rent and stuff, it's not going to pay for everybody's rent. It's only going to pay for rents that if they can't make the rent payment, they're going to be evicted and homeless. So you can't say, I'm down on my luck and I like where I live and I want some assistance and whatever. If you're working and you have a job, it's not going to apply specifically for that type of rental assistance. It's just for people that are going to find themselves homeless if they can't make that rent payment.
There'll be specific guidelines.
That's correct. Again, this is just an authorization for us to apply for the grant. Applying for grants doesn't mean you get it, but you got to have a resolution signed that says we made the commitment to a match.
So what you're saying is, if we apply for the grant and we get it, then it'll come back to us to vote on whether we're going to do the $125,000 or not.
No. Yeah. So we'll make applications for X amount up to $125,000, and then if we're awarded that, then the county would match that either with cash or in-kind services.
But it'll be brought back before the county commission.
Absolutely.
To be split up.
So what will happen, it'll go into the budget process for fiscal year 27, so the budget committee would have the obligation to put that in the budget, approve that budget packet, to send it to you guys in the full county budget, and then for you all to vote on that as part of fiscal year 27 budget.
When do we know that we'll get it?
Usually those that come out probably the 1st of June is when they make those application winners known. That way everybody's got time to put it in the next year's budget.
You know, I'm all for getting the money. But now, we need to be careful how we need, just like you said, we need some type of guideline set up. Hey, you read a lot of stuff there that could be used.
Oh, absolutely.
And once people find this out, you know, that we have that. But we need to come up with something and let us vote on it, I believe. Some kind of guidelines.
That's the reason why it's coming back to us. Once it's approved, it'll come back to us to dictate where it needs to go.
But we're voting on the grant right now.
You have to apply for it.
You're voting on allowing us to apply for the grants.
That's what I'm saying.
This is just to apply for it.
But what if we approve it?
Can we not cut the budget? I mean, can we not cut it like halfway just to kind of get started?
If you all want to say 125 is too much, that's just the maximum. If you all were comfortable with half that amount, 100,000, 50,000, whatever the case may be, all we're trying to do is show everybody that has a concern with had cold and inclement weather, that we're doing something to help those people in need. Now, to your point, Steve, I'll say this. A lot of people look for help. There is a lot of help out there already, but not for people that are going to be evicted in a homeless situation. So, EFRA has some money for light, which is energy assistance. It helps with changing out windows, insulation, HVAC. There's a lot of stuff in that space to help people have needs. There's even rental assistance that is already happening now. Those people have to be working and stuff that's not part of this grant. This is only for people that if they lose their house or their apartment, they're going to be homeless. So not anybody can come in and say, I need rental assistance, I'm not making enough money for my job, I want to get a second job, help me out. That's not what it's for.
When's the deadline for this to apply?
We need to apply by the end of the month.
End of this month?
End of this month.
Okay, my question is, who's going to say, say I walk in there and say, I'm homeless, I got kicked out of my house. Who's going to approve, who's going to look at it to say, I told the truth? You know what I'm saying?
So I'll say this, Carolyn, if somebody walks in and says there's homeless, there's nothing that this grant will do because we're not building a shelter. We're not running a shelter, we're not operating a shelter. This is just intended to help people that are on the cusp of becoming homeless or are already homeless during the freeze event like we've had for the last several winters.
Okay, so who's going to determine
Does
that, is what I'm saying?
landlord, or does it go to the one that's being evicted?
Right.
It would go directly to the landlord, not the one being evicted, because then the problem is, and I'm not saying that this will happen, some people might take a check and say, well, I don't want the apartment, I've got this cash. So it would go directly to the landlord to do that. That's the way that EFRA operates their rental assistance programs and stuff. It goes directly to the landlord.
But now generally, when you're getting evicted, you're several months behind.
On everything.
Well, I'm not denying that, Steve. There are specific cases, and it could be that I'm 3 months behind, but if you give me that 1 month's rent, I'll give you a chance to get it all. You see what I'm saying? It's not going to pay for somebody that's in the quarter, they're getting ready to be evicted, and they're 6 months behind. By that problem, by that point, you've already got a big problem, and somebody else you get evicted.
But I like to get into this grant at least 60,000 and see how it goes.
I think that's fair.
I'm all for it. We just need to be careful. How
So again, if there's any type of cold weather events, we're going to partner that with the church that opened its doors, and you all funded them, I think, last 2 months ago, to give them a little contribution to help that. So we're not getting in that business, but the guidelines are pretty strict on what you can use the money for. You can't just have somebody come in, they're going to have bills, they're going to have statements. You can't just come in and say, hey, I want $500 for my rent this month, and get it.
I think one of the big questions everybody's kind of got is, the state has guidelines, correct?
Correct.
Who's going to oversee the guidelines per day?
So-
Do they submit something with the state, or do we submit to a county office?
They will submit it to Stephanie Isbell downstairs. She will verify that it meets the state guidelines. She'll submit that to approval from the state. They will say that it's approved expense, and then that would be the expense.
Will she get a stipend or anything out of that?
No.
Run it down.
There is no stipend in here for anybody to do the work. So technically, you could qualify that if she's going to do 10 hours a week to this program. We pay her salary, that could be part of an in-kind match of whatever that would be to do the grant.
Let me ask you this, what if we don't meet the 60,000, the need?
Right. What does it come?
Money then?
I don't know, Steve, the answer to that. That's a good question. It may roll over to the next year, but typically when you have a grant, it has to be expended in that fiscal year. Now, if we don't have a need for it, I think that TDA is doing this for all 95 counties to apply for that they could probably understand that if you don't have somebody that gets it all year, that they're not going to ask for it back, but that's a good question. If it is, then we would return the funds at the end of the fiscal year, and that's it. Our grant match stays in that.
Say like if we had an emergency, everybody's electricity went off for a week in the wintertime, and the churches open their door, could we use that for in-kind?
I don't know that you could use that for in-kind. You would probably want to give them some money, because I don't think that churches would have all the food and all the blankets and everything they would need. But if you had a blackout that long, and people need to go to churches. I'm satisfied it could probably buy any kind of generators to keep heat in the church, any kind of food items.
Can I just change my motion to 60,000? That'd be okay? All right, I'll do that. Nathan, I think you second.
I second it again.
That'd be okay with you?
So you're changing it from 125 to 60,000? All right, is there any other discussion? Everybody understand that what the change was? All right, clerk call the roll.
Yes.
Rosemary Barnett,
Yes.
Carolyn Brooks,
Yes.
Steve Mason,
Yes.
Steve Rogan,
Yes.
Eric Jones,
No.
Terry McCreary,
Yes.
David Buggy,
Yes.
Quentin Rogers,
Yes.
Zachary Bunn,
Yes.
Dennis Cook,
Yes.
Whit Shuford,
Yes.
Nathan Epperson,
Yes.
Gary Ford,
No.
Mike Campbell,
Yes.
Stacy Crawford,
Yes.
Zach Mullins,
Yes.
Anthony Rowe.
Yes.
All right, the motion passes 16-4, 2 against. All right, the next resolution is 34, opioid abatement fund local grant funding, fiscal year 2027. Mr. Rowe.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the opioid board, which is responsible for the opioid abatement or settlement funds, met and reviewed and scored 5 grant applications. These were local. And based upon the recommendations from the opioid board, I make a motion we authorize the following grant applications to be funded in fiscal year 27, starting on July the 1st, 26, and ending on June the 30th, 27. And these would be awarded to Standing the Gap Coalition, Boys and Girls Club of Claiborne County, and Live Free Claiborne.
I second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I'd like to say something if I could. This has been one of the fairest applications that I have seen. When they came in, I sent these down to the smart folks down at UT that helps all 95 counties with regards to opioids. And they redacted any identifying information on every grant application so that the opioid board could see them through a clear lens and not have any kind of bias towards one organization over another. So I set that meeting out and came in at the tail end after they got all the scoring done. And then when we did, I contacted SMART, said these are the ones that they want to award, who were they, and this is who you got. Stand in the Gap, Boys and Girls Club, and Live Free Claiborne. I've included those applications in your packet this month so that you would know what it is that they're going to do with the $50,000 in each organization. And SMART actually looked at those, and all of those applications that are approved do meet the abatement guidelines for the opioid council at the state of Tennessee level. So those are good projects that the opioid board has awarded to. And now the last thing to do is for you all to award it. Myself and the finance director have set up, these will be the budget line items for the expense items up there. And we designated with 3 digits or 3 letters for each one of those, SIG, BGC, and LFC. That way we can track those expenses in the county budget. As you all know, we have to monitor those and do reports. We were doing quarterly reports, but now we're just doing annual reports that close out June 30th every year. So we'll track and make sure that all those funds are expended for exactly what those items were within the grant application.
Any other discussion?
Can we know who the other 2 applicants were?
Yes. One of those was Cherokee Health, formerly Cherokee Health down at New Tazewell. And then one was the clinic up here where the Tazewell City Hall used to be. So I think one of those they were going to do, and you'll have to correct me if I've not looked at those since they came in, one of those was going to do MAT, medical assisted treatment, so they would come to that office and then they would get Suboxone or whatever those treatments that are approved through the state. And then the other one was going to do services. And I do believe The reason why those two were not approved is because unlike the three that you are going to approve, they had really large budgets already. And $50,000 to somebody, some organization that has an annual operating expense of $38 million, I think they thought, I don't want to speak for the board again, that we wanted it to stay local and for people that actually showed with their budgets that they could use the money.
Anyone else? If not, clerk call roll.
Zach Mullins,
Yes.
Anthony Rowe,
Yes.
Richard Crosby,
Yes.
Rosemary Barnett,
Yes.
Carolyn Brooks,
Yes.
Steve Mason,
Yes.
Steve Brogan,
Yes.
Derek Jones,
Yes.
Sharon Prairie,
Yes.
David Mundy,
Yes.
Quentin Rogers,
Yes.
Zachary Dunn,
Yes.
Dennis Cook,
Yes.
Rick Shuford,
Yes.
Nathan Anderson,
Yes.
Gary Ford,
Yes.
Mike Campbell,
Yes.
Tessie Crawford,
Yes.
Motion carries, 18-4, 0 against. Before we adjourn, Mr. Spurlock has got an announcement.
Hello, everyone, from the Standing Gap Coalition. Most everyone in the room got this flyer. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things because we couldn't write everything on this one flyer. Okay, but it's a big event. We do this twice a year, and it's a drug take back. You have unwanted, unused, expired, out of date. We're providing a place on Saturday, this coming Saturday, and it's all on here from 10 to 2 for you to bring those. And what I'm asking is, the reason I want to say something, we have really a lot of difficulty getting the information out to everybody, okay, so you can help us. Please tell as many people as you can, because I wrote at the top of my flyer, I said, spring cleaning. You know, it's a good opportunity for spring cleaning. Well, that includes getting in that medicine cabinet and just get rid of that stuff. Even tell your neighbor, let me take it for you, you know, and just come over. We'll have a law enforcement officer there. They will collect these, okay? And each year we've been doing this, and we'd like to see your support on it. Once again, it's this coming Saturday, 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, okay? And he said, we're partnering this with Brave Boxing, and I hope most of y'all know who that is by now, okay? And they're over in the little shopping center there by, what is it, Skylock? Or the...
Skylock.
Yes, okay. Right there close to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Just come right back in there. We'll be there. We'll make ourselves very visible. We'll be glad to help you. And also, I will tell you this. If you've got a neighbor or somebody and they say, you know, I just can't get down there, but I want to get rid of this, call us. Our numbers are on here. We'll go get it, okay? We'll find a way to do it and to help them out. And if you read down in this flyer, it says, okay, it says, come out and help us do a knockout. Well, we kind of use a little funny thing there because we're working with Brave Boxing. But let's get rid of these things, okay? And I'll make one last comment that most people are not very familiar with, okay? But animal meds and drugs, okay? We've worked with LNU veterinarian people, and we've talked. It's amazing how people are out there pet shopping their meds, okay? And a lot of these, you know, a lot of farms and people around farms have got meds and drugs that they just haven't even looked at maybe for years. But a grandkid or somebody could go out and possibly get a hold of something by mistake. So don't forget those pet meds, okay? And come out and help us out on this. And on the back of your flyer, just a comment, there's a comment on the back that's very interesting for you to look over about the body and alcohol and different things. That's another prevention item we work on. But I thank you very much. Help us all you can. Duplicate these, tell somebody, but show up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spurlock. Yes.
I just have one thing. So I guess your last election, I held some Meet the Candidates. I attempted to hold some debates, but couldn't get enough involved. So after our Kentucky primary on the 19th, I'll start sending out invitations to anyone who is running for office in Claiborne County for your August 6th election. I'll be holding a Meet the Candidates, and I still have to get permission to use the courtroom here. Meet the Candidates here, give you a few minutes on camera and on the microphone to say who you are, why you should either be elected or re-elected. And I'd also like to say, if you know any of the mayor candidates or the sheriff candidates, I am going to hold a debate, if we have enough involved, an actual full debate of those two offices. It'll be 2 separate nights. We'll live stream it, and we'll also probably give you 10 questions for each of the candidates. But it will be an actual debate where there'll be rebuttal, and they'll be able to give a statement during that debate. So that information will be heading out in probably the 1st of June, and then we'll hold these debates and meet the candidates in July, well ahead of your election. Because if it's too late in the season, people's minds may be going one way or the other. If it's too early, a lot of folks have, the attention span of a gnat nowadays, and anything that may have just happened, you may have forgotten. Mr. Mayor?
Just a quick note of order. Early voting starts in July.
17th.
There you go, thank you. So you'd either want to do it that first week of,
Right.
prior to that, when you mentioned July, I just want to be aware of that early voting date and sign me up.
I thought about doing it somewhere between the 4th, because that's when everybody's going to be out and vacationing, and the early voting starts. So it'll be somewhere in that window.
Just want to make you aware of the early voting date.
Is there anybody I need to speak to about getting permission to use the courtroom?
You can use it.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, any other announcements? Yes, ma'am.
Thursday, May 7th is the National Day of Prayer. Harrogate City Hall will be hosting a prayer service at noon, and I believe Tazewell
At the city park.
at the city park has one at 6 or 7? 6. And now more than ever, I feel like we really do need to be praying for our country, for our county, for each other, and I think it's really good to show support for those community activities. So I wish you'd go to one of the services.
And don't forget your county 4-H beef show is this Friday. So that's always a big
Now,
deal.
what was that?
4-H beef.
The 4-H beef show.
Yes, y'all.
Countywide 4-H beef show. Come out and support your kids. We always worry about farm to table, we worry about food and stuff, but if you don't have enough kids that's coming up, you're not going to have them run the farm again. And you need to social support those kids, and you all always have every year with regard to that, but seeing you there would mean a lot to some of those people.
That's in the park.
That's at the fairgrounds, that's Friday at 5.
Okay, anybody else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
Sometime in June, send out stuff?
Yes. I'll send something out while we're through the primary. All right. And I've got everybody's information.
And you're gentle, right, when you ask questions? You have to be fair, but I mean, yeah. I've never faced people, but you seem a little too eager to debate me. Because I know Jackson will probably pretty much.
Oh, is he?
He probably will. I mean, tonight, last 2.
He did.
So, so it'll be 2 Joes against 2 Joes. Okay. Well,
Yes, it's a meet the candidates.